Good morning, everybody. This is Max Fair from DexAtomiX.com. Today's video for you today on Sunday, the 20th of December, 2020. With the release of the Dex AtomiX combined, or what we're going to be referred to it as, is the Dex AtomiX, AtomiX, with the capital X at the end of atomic. What is this system? Well, we temporarily released it over the Dex AtomiX B, so I can have some predetermined people in there already to testing out the process here. And what this is it's the on-chart strategy tester and solution in this simulated trading process. Now, when we say simulated, we're referring to the fact that we could augment where we thought that if the price got to the statement, it could change. You could change the pip ratio and how many pips you got closer. So the further away, the larger the pip amount, the less money you would make per profit. Okay, which sort of caps out at about 4, maybe 5 pips, if and only if you had like a 20-80 rule in there. Okay, could possibly hit that, maybe even more. But this gave us a huge opportunity to play with the variables, to see what time frames did better than others as we were slowly drilling down information. You data hounds in the group like Charles M. and Aaron and a few others, Ron, you're all in there doing your thing. But listen, I know some of you, it's right around the holiday season. Okay, I want to give you a word of warning. If I ask, what's the best trade value here? Is the best trade value percentage, or how many trades you do? Is the best trade volume the value of what's the best time frame? It all really depends on you. For my case, what I'm looking for, like this is 75, this is like 25%, because this is a Audi JPY or USD JPY. It's never really about the final percentage. As soon as you come on in the default, whatever the default is, the risk value type, what I do is I slide my little box over and I can change the variables and it automatically changes. Okay? Gives me a time period, if you will. Now this is just between 10 and 12 on a particular day, any trading day. All right? You could check down to the hour if you wanted to. And we have some people that check down to the final 2 hours of every day. Just like this. Now, this is Aaron's chart. And, buddy, you've done an awesome job. This is great information. I don't like the color red, so that's the only critique I have. I don't like red. Maybe orange would probably work better. But in the case of this information, this is great drilled down information. What it gives you is the availability to look at 2-hour blocks and which 2-hour blocks are the best. I could easily take and isolate, let's just say, for a case, which is better, a higher rate of success or a medium rate of success with more trades? Only you can really answer that. Like, what's best? This 82% with 29 trades, 24 to 5, or this 92% at 13 to 1? Well, let's check that variable out. Okay, I'm going to take that 26 to 10. We're going to jump over to my thing here. We're going to do 26 to 10. Okay, and the other one was the 92 at 13 to 1. 13 to 1. So which one is the best? Now, keep in mind that information was drilled down to about 40 days. So this would be about $5 a day on the average of making. And this would be about 10, or a little less than 10. But the amount of trades that we're doing to make this kind of money, right? So if that's 14 trades, and then that is 36 trades. So the amount per trade is increased as well. This is what you have to kind of realize, is that over a 40-day period, you've had some wins and losses. You've had 9 more losses than you've had here. But this is an isolated venue. This is an isolated time between 2200 and midnight at night. Now, the cool thing is that the one right next to it is at the same exact variable. So when you're making your alerts and trying to figure out timing, look for something that's sort of in between. This is a great opportunity. This is 26 to 2. Beautiful, right? And as we go down into these times, you can set an alert at any one of these levels. You don't just have to pick what's the best success rate for the entire day. I've sort of done that here, is that I've isolated a few time frames, 845 to 1500, 73%. I've even taken like the USD JPY, which had 1100. This is the most expensive one out there. This is the one that, or the best one here is the Audi JPY at 1386. But for an example, I took the USD JPY medium level between 1045 and 1700, and I said 1155. That's if I just chose one variable, medium, validation off. But what I found is that I've used Jared's method as well. I could isolate the best time frames from midnight to 4 o'clock, or however I wanted to be able to do this. I just took a copy of his information. I'll go over to sheet 4 here. You can kind of see what I did. This one had a 71%, and I found that the connection here, I could have kept this here and brought in another 12 to 4. Or I could have came down here and grabbed this 28 to 7. 12 to 4 to 28 to 7. You see where I'm going with this? We go back to our data page. 28 to 7. 12 to 4. Oops, wrong one. 28 to 7. 12 to 4. You see? So in this particular case, more trades made the process happen. What we look at is the difference between the two numbers. How many trades were in the delta? Here, the bit difference between the two is 21 trades. Right? But we know that it's a 2 to 1 relationship. You see? So this would actually be 14. Why do we do this? And then we look at the difference between a delta. So we got 28 and 7, which is actually 28 to 4, or 28 to 14. That's a 14 trade win ratio. We look at this, 12 to 8, that's only a 4 win ratio. You see? That's the delta. So why do I look at it in that fashion? Well, because I want to be able to have the best delta as possible of overall win and take homes. Does that make sense? So that's how you have to look at it. Since it's a 2 to 1 risk to reward, we would have to, if for every loss, we'd have to win another one back. That's a 2 to 1. You see? So that takes away from our winning side amount. So that's why I can come up with 462. Now, I do a little complicated equation in there. You want to pause, you can kind of copy that out. And it figures it out automatically. Okay? So when you're looking at trades, try to figure out what the delta is as well. And it's very simple. This looks like a pretty good win ratio here of 5 to 2, it's 73%. But it only has a, if you look at it, that'd be a 4. It only has a 1 trade delta. Right? So if I take this same information, 5 to 2, even though that it's 71%, that's still pretty good. That's a good relation. But if I come over to here and I plug it into this, 5 to 2, it's only $33, right? Because why? It's only got a 1 trade delta, right? If we're buying at 35.65, and this is after fees. Okay, compared to maybe one of its kissing cousins above that has a higher trade delta. See, this one's upside down. That's why it's red. This one's pretty good. It has a 4 trade delta. And this one's even better. This one has an 8 trade delta. Remember, 12 minus, or 20 minus the 12. The delta on this would be 8. Be 8 trades. This one's going to make you more money. This one has a 13. Okay? I hope I make sense here when you're figuring out your strategy. It is not always best to have the process even out with the best success rate. This is over a 40-day period, and you're looking for the best deltas. Not so much the best success rate, because I could have a success rate like this at 100%, and this has 11 trade delta. That's really good. So this would be something that I would really focus on. Why is that time so valuable there? 70 to 80%, 90%. If you're seeing 90% in spaces, make sure that it's not a 3 or 4 delta trade, right? Like, this is a really good relationship here. Why is that? 14 to 1600. It's a pretty good trade delta in there. That's 8. Nope, that's 7. Sorry. This is 8. So you're getting the picture now. So when you're looking at not so much trying to find the best pair, like if I were to go with a 72% success on this one, that would be great. If I lined it up right there with that one and I did an alert from 12 to 1400, this would be 17 to 4, so 17 to 8. That would be a 9 trade delta for that time period. But compared to this one, 42 to 12, that's a 30 trade delta there. 9, 32. Where are you making more money? Right here. Okay, it has a little bit better success rate, but you also have to look at 71%. If I find 7, this is 72%. This has a 1 and this has a 3. Okay? So even though that you have really good success rates in certain spots, make sure you're contemplating your profit margin for that trade delta. And is it worth it for you to have that time in? That's what I'm doing now. I'm not trying to fit the data over. There's not going to be a perfect another 40 days exactly like this. There's going to be news. There's going to be other things. By the way, this runs over complete news. This ran over 2 NFPs. Farm payrolls runs over everything. So up and down, voting, everything. Okay, could get better, could get a little worse, but I don't suspect it to get very much worse. Okay, I think it would actually get kind of better. Now, we're releasing a version of the Dex AtomiX. There's some new stuff that's coming. Over the weekend, we couldn't get the Dex AtomiX to actually physically put the alerts out properly, so you had to use your Dex Atomic. The version that will be coming out after Sunday, after I test tonight, you'll be able to put alerts down. Also, there'll be another variable injected, a buy-sell side. So you can actually figure out if you only want to use buys or only want to use sells or use a combination of both. You can tick them off. If you have buy-sell selected, it'll just show buys. If you have sell side selected, it'll just show sells. You might be able to overlay data that'll say, okay, where we get a huge loss like this, or see, I'm not so much worried about small deltas like this where you get it upside down, right? It's in 33%. All your losses might be in sells at that point to some sort of degree. You could possibly improve a larger group of data like something like this if there's a pattern to what those losses are in the 6. If they're all sells, or if a higher percentage of them are sells, it'll take away from them overall delta, but you could have a large amount of information, especially over a period of time. Now, the amount of data and things you have to do to create the alert and all the alerts you're going to have, you're going to need, okay, a premium account over a TradingView. If you don't have a premium account over a TradingView, don't expect to be doing a bunch of layouts and a bunch of alerts and 550. This is holding the support. This is holding signals and ZDON for me, and this is about 40. Okay. So you're not going to be able to go in and just throw in 60, 70, 80, 100 different alerts without a premium account. You get 400 at the premium side. So the big question is that you have to ask yourself, once you start testing, if you only have enough room for 4 or for 8, is to pick your best delta overall throughout the day. If you only have, say, 10, pick your 10 best deltas and simply put them put them to work. That's over 10 pairs. All right? So there's a lot of information that you can drill down and start working with. But keep in mind, there's a statement made just recently about trust and verify. I don't expect you to jump in and just trust me. It's to take everything at my face value. I put the work in. I put a lot of work into doing exactly what Aaron and Charles and other people do every day. The bots and systems that I make, I do so with the best intention to make sure that it's done correctly and forward thinking. But now it's the time for the rubber to meet the road. We need to get to work. This is all still hypothetical. Until when? Until we put the alerts on and start making the trades. Okay? So take anything at face value because it can be interpreted at different values. Okay? All right. I'm Max. This is Dex. We'll see you next time. I look forward to working with you through the next week with this stuff, even through Christmas and the holidays. The ZDON bot is being worked on. There's a lot of great stuff happening. We'll talk to you soon. And as always, trade well.